This is the KoperCrabb Podcast.
I'm Cheney Crab.
I am Naveen Copperweiss.
I guess we have a couple of announcements this week, so I can't go straight into it. But first things first, you guys are getting prime access to all of our leftover tour merch. So if you would like to go and grab some of the tour merch, Naveen and I have a couple of the designs on right now. If you didn't get a chance to see us, if you didn't get a chance to grab anything, all KoperCrabb Podcast listeners are getting early access to the store. So go check it out. As usual, you always will. You always do.
Yeah, we've got quite a bit of stuff left over from tour.
Yeah. So we're throwing it up in there. The link is in the description. Check it out. It's our big cartel. We send everything from our house. We have the whole setup here. So if you want anything from us directly, it's going to come from that big cartel. If you would like to grab a different design, we've got different stuff up in our night shift merch store. So go and check that out. But yeah, I think we'll have it available to you guys until probably Thursday. So go and check out the designs. The other announcement we have is that we have a KoperCrabb hotline.
Yes.
We have created a hotline so that you guys, you can still write in questions. So if you've got a question, of course, as always, send it to KoperCrabbPodcast@gmail.com and we can read it on the podcast. If you want us to play your question or your whatever, it doesn't have to be a question, just say something. Call our new number.
Quips.
If you want to throw a quip out there.
Comments, you name it, you throw it on there. If it's mildly interesting, then we're going to play it on this podcast here.
That's right.
But we thought it would be a cool way for people to connect a little more.
Totally. So the number for that is 615-420-7342. And you'll hear our voices right away. Just leave a message after the tone. And
should I call it real quick?
Yeah.
I'm going to call it.
Go for it. You can leave our first message.
Yeah, okay. What was it? 615?
It's 615-420-7342. Also, if you guys want your name to be on the podcast, then say it in the message.
Right.
If not, don't include it. And please don't call from your fucking car and make a lot of noise. Just call from a quiet place.
God damn it. Here, I got to do it again. Let me do it again. I hella just put the wrong button. Okay.
Throw that on speaker.
This is the KoperCrabb Podcast hotline.
Leave your question or comment after the tone.
There we go.
There you go.
That's profesh.
Pretty pro, dude. We got the KoperCrabb hotline.
I can't wait to see what comes from that.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, hit it up. We're excited to hear from you guys. Our fans, which
fans.
I think we have.
I think we might have came up with a name.
Our friends, our listeners.
I think we might have came up with a name.
I think we might have come up with a name. Like a lot of people left comments last week.
Yeah, there were some contenders, I guess you could say.
Yeah, but in the end, I guess we voted ourselves. The votes are in, and Naveen and I are the only two who voted. So we're gonna choose what it is.
So
first, I think we should go through the names.
Check out some of these contenders here. If I can figure out how to use my computer.
We're still getting used to being
rusty.
back at the podcast.
Yeah.
A little rusty.
Total dumbass when it comes to doing the podcast still.
Dumas.
Here we are.
Scroll down a little. All right, let's see.
Crustacean Nation. That was a pretty good one.
That's a pretty good one. It only incorporates half of the name, though.
Yeah.
That's my vote against it.
That was sort of the problem with a lot of these names. They're really good, but how do they involve me and Cheney?
Right. It's got to be both of us. You gotta have a little copper with your crab.
So then we had crabs. That's an obvious one.
All right,
that's
two. That's 2 votes for Cheney.
Right. We had
The Zoom recorder thing, okay, I guess we're just responding to comments now, but we are going to get a Zoom recorder.
Yeah, we did figure out that there is a mobile solution for us to do podcasts on the road.
Yeah, so maybe on tour, we're just going to come at you with audio podcasts.
Audio only, and we'll just give you the... It'll give us more stuff to talk about, right? Because we'll be having to describe everything that's going on. Yeah,
we'll be living in the moment on tour. Because there are things that come up. 2 or 3 days ago, I remembered something really important from tour that we didn't talk about at all.
Okay.
So I'm sure I have no idea. I can't remember it again.
Dang it. You should have taken a note, Janie.
I know.
Okay, so then we got Copperheads. So that's
just Naveen.
That's just Naveen.
Yeah.
Not Cheney.
Actually, I mean, it's creative because this person spelled it Copper. Yeah, so we got the C, but it's a spin. It's a spin on.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's I think it's just not there.
Yeah.
Then we had
let's hear the
shit, we had another one, right?
I don't know.
We definitely had another one on here.
Sorry, we're looking through the comments. Episode. Yeah, there are. It's cool. A lot of people saw the tour. We met a lot of people who listened to the podcast on the tour.
Yeah, I think almost every day somebody came up and was like, yeah, I'm a fan of the podcast. And sometimes it would be people that I wouldn't expect.
Totally.
Like, actually one day, the guy who was working the door in Chicago came up and was like, hey man, I'm a fan of the podcast.
No way.
Yeah, and then turned around and went back to the door.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Whoa. We've reached the venue staff. That's cool.
Okay, then we got KoperCrabb.
All right, that's the closest to incorporating both of our names.
Pretty
job. Good job.
I think that might have been all the submissions.
Okay, well, we nixed them all.
We nixed them all because I had a funny story, actually.
True.
And it hit me, the fucking name.
Yeah.
And so it's, we're recording our album. Well,
I don't know if we should
we're mixing the album with Mark Lewis.
Right.
And one of the jokes that he kind of makes a lot is you think of the opposite word for something.
It's a spoonerism.
No, well, he does spoonerisms a lot.
But he also has other things.
The other thing is so for Scott Carstairs, he'll call him Scott Truck Ramp.
Or for me, he's called me, because my name is Cheney Crab.
Yeah.
It's 2 C's. He's called me Lucy Lobster.
Yeah.
Or Stacy Shrimp.
So anyway, he was sending us mixes and stuff to listen to, and he named his project file Golden Lobster. So,
which I didn't even get until last week.
Yes.
But he's been sending this to us for over a month.
Yeah, and it says Golden Lobster, and I'm like, golden? What is that? Like some kind of just randomly generated thing?
Yeah.
And then literally the day after we did the last podcast, I was driving and I called Cheney and I was like, dude, he's making a joke. Instead of KoperCrabb, it's Golden Lobster.
That's how.
And then I was like, that's the fucking fan name, dude.
So you guys are Golden Lobsters.
Yeah.
I mean, that's brilliant. And that's how good Mark is at coming up with those names, is that sometimes it doesn't even hit you. They just roll off his tongue.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, Golden Lobster.
It doesn't hit you until a month down the road.
So yeah, unfortunately for you guys are now called Golden Lobsters.
Y'all are the Golden Lobsters.
Yeah. So
wear that badge proud and true. With pride.
Yeah. So I was actually way hyped on that.
So shout out to the Golden Lobsters out there. We're proud to have you guys. And shout out to Mark,
who isn't listening and doesn't know that he just made up just started a revolution.
He started a revolution of about 3 people. The Golden Lobsters.
3 to 5.
3 to 5 people.
So yeah,
and
we got
2 of
the
them
hotline.
Are our moms.
We got the hotline. Dude, our moms don't count. They're not Golden Lobsters.
Our moms are like the matriarchs.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
the
kidding.
Matriarchs of the Golden Lobster Nation.
Golden Lobsters. I actually talked to my mom today for a while, for like an hour.
I talked to my mom today as well because, well, this isn't the only reason, but it's her birthday and it's also your birthday.
Another announcement.
It's
my
Naveen's birthday.
Yeah.
Which it won't be your birthday when this actually comes out, but
close enough.
Close enough.
It's my birthday was yesterday. If you're listening when this came out,
the 31st.
Yeah.
So
Kind of cool.
Shout out. We're all
Kind of ironically, though, is we're like drinking water. This is the water episode.
Naveen, me and the other golden lobsters. Well, I don't know if I'm a golden lobster, but all of the golden lobsters and I are really happy to have you in the world.
Wow. Thank you, Janie.
Yeah.
And thank you, golden lobsters.
Also, all of the fans of Entheos who are not golden lobsters. Let's
Not
keep
necessarily.
Let's keep it separated. Not necessarily golden lobsters.
Yeah.
People who listen to Entheos may never know what a golden lobster is.
They might not. And I think
That's how it goes, man.
it is like a different crowd, the golden lobsters. You know, they're like a cut above everybody else.
That's why they get early access to our t-shirts.
That's true.
Because
That's
it's
true.
just, you know,
And
it's actually not just t-shirts. I want to throw that out there. We have tote bags. We've got some grinders left.
grinders, yeah. True that.
What else do we have?
Peppercorn grinders, right? Of course.
Peppercorn grinders. Yes. Grinders for your oregano, your arugula, whatever you're grinding out there.
Dried herbs.
That's right. And I don't know if we have any other like knick-knack patty wax or any of that stuff.
There might be some stickers or patches, but I don't even know if
There are definitely stickers. We sold out of patches.
Is there a chance that the stuff won't get put up tonight and people will go and hit the link?
I don't think so. I'm going to put it up.
Well,
I've got a good
for a backup in case it's not there when you go check it out. Check it out on Thursday.
Yeah.
Check it out tomorrow, just in case.
Tomorrow during the day.
Yeah.
Set a reminder.
It's probably gonna be up. But if it's not, it's gonna be up the next day.
Yeah, don't bet on it. I mean,
Hey,
but if it's up, give me a round of applause because it took a lot of time.
yeah, and
to
I
do.
didn't do any of it at all.
True.
But my role is like,
It's your birthday.
That's true.
It's a day off for you.
So, well, not really. I mean, I'm always doing stuff,
Which, speaking of, I wanted to say because you were talking about Mark, you went over to Mark's today and our album is finalized.
I mean, it's done, like
It's done.
100% done.
Yep, it's done.
It's being it's getting what's known as turned in.
It's getting
as we speak.
turned. It's getting turned in. It's getting turned up.
Yeah. So
Loud on my speakers, not on
hopefully
anyone else's.
we'll have really soon here
a single
or at
release
least
date,
some info
a little bead of hope,
for these golden
a
lobsters.
little bead of light for the golden lobsters.
What if people are like, I don't want to be a golden lobster, and now I hate your show?
Well, then they're a member of the crustacean nation, or they're nothing. You
Rogue
don't-
groups?
Just because you're in the committee, just because you're in the listening group, doesn't mean you have to be a golden lobster. You can still just rep.
That's true.
KoperCrabb.
You can just be like a listen, but you can be a listener.
We support
Casual
the
listener.
freedom for you to choose whether you want to be a golden lobster or not.
You got to opt in.
You gotta
I don't
opt
know.
in.
I'm thinking about making it mandatory. That's what I'm thinking.
Mandatory golden
Yeah,
lobster.
I don't know. If you can just listen whenever you want and
initiation.
have no commitment, nothing to the show, no skin in the game.
All right, lobsties.
I don't know. That seems a little
Lobsters.
weird to me.
I personally might not become a golden lobster.
Okay.
Maybe I would. I don't know.
Well, when you were on your mom's house, Christina P called you a mommy. She said, "Oh yeah, this girl's a mommy."
That's true. I am
But
a
you
mommy.
didn't really tell her. You told her that you were a fan of the show.
True. It's a mandatory. So we're
You
going to
got thrown
adopt
in there.
that rule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got thrown
Okay.
in
You're a mandatory golden lobsty.
Or if you
Lobster.
write in or something
I'll
like
think
that.
of a better short, a GL. You're on the GL,
Oh, okay.
which is also, that's what the guest list is.
The GL, dude.
Y'all are on the GL.
They're on the GL. Okay. On the GL. I like that.
Y'all are on the
I
GL.
like
So
that.
that's like what the really underground lobsters
They're on the GL.
call themselves.
On the GL has a really good ring to it, Jane.
I'm on the GL.
Really good right there. Good stuff.
Thank you.
But yeah, so I think we're trying to make the show a little more official. Wouldn't you say so, Cheney?
Yeah, we're going the official route.
We got the hotline coming.
yes.
We're trying to maybe think of some other cool like little segments we could do.
Yeah, so if you guys have any ideas for segments, I know that we should bring back where we talk about a band every week.
Yeah, I
because
know.
that's what brings us all together.
Yeah.
I think this week we can talk about a couple of bands. We saw a show last night. We've
Yeah,
got
okay.
some stuff to share. But if
Yep.
you guys can think of any other segments, we've got the question segment. Anything else that you would like to see, just let us know.
Yeah.
Let us
Let
know,
us know.
lobsters,
This is your show. This is your guys' show.
where we decide everything and we get to talk.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
And if any money comes about, we're going to keep it all. So.
I'm also gonna be. I want to order some like beer mugs, and we need more coffee cups. Those sold really quickly.
Probably have like 8 of them in our cabinet.
I know, because I have a problem when we have like cups or something like that, useful tool for sale. I'll go and grab a couple, and then I'll leave them around, like in the van or in the car.
Yeah.
And then
we'll do watercolor.
Just keep
with
doing
them.
that. Yeah, I'll do watercolor with them.
But yeah, we are drinking waters today, and that's because we've kind of been going out a lot.
We have been going out a lot.
We actually had to turn down going out tonight.
It's hard in Nashville. See, Nashville's a big city. Santa Cruz was kind of like cut off from society. So even we do know quite a bit of people who live like in the Bay, in Oakland or San Jose. Yeah, and some in Santa Cruz, but it's just like we didn't have like close access to San Francisco from Santa Cruz. But now we're really close to the city of Nashville, and we know a lot of people here. So it's when you know a lot of people in a place, you have to turn down doing things every so often to be a functioning human.
I know. We're to the point where we're like, we can't do that. We've been going out too much.
Yeah, which has been fun, you know. Being on tour, I know a lot of people may think that being on tour is a constant party, but it's really more like working 24 hours a day for 30 days straight.
I think that's kind of one of the reasons why we've been cutting loose, because I'm like, I'm home. I don't have a million things to do per day.
Right.
Also, don't have to drive after the freaking show. Let's go have some fun.
Totally. Totally. Yeah. Tour is work. It's what we do for work. And when we're on tour, you kind of have to just be on tour most of the time.
Yeah.
At least if you're us, we just choose to do that. You can do whatever you want. That's the cool part about it. But we choose to work.
We work
all the time. So when we get home, it's fun to kind of cut loose for a little while.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but you got to rein it in at some point.
You do have to rein it in. I mean,
but yeah, we've been having a little bit of fun. We went out a couple nights. Last night we went to a show, a rock concert.
Yeah, we saw Yautja and Portrayal of Guilt.
Yautja. That name is weird to me. It's like Yautja. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were sick.
For those of you who don't know.
They were really sick, Yautja. They're from Nashville, which I didn't know until yesterday. I'd heard of the band.
Okay.
But I really liked seeing them live. They were sick.
And then Portrayal of Guilt was also, which I may have mentioned them on the show when when I was like, what are you listening to? Type of a deal.
I think you did. They have a cool audio tree up. If you guys don't know what audio tree is, it's similar to an NPR Tiny Desk, but for heavier music.
It's like a concert.
Yeah, it's like a concert in a studio.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. We have one as well, which was really fun to do. But Portrayal of Guilt has a really good one up that you guys should go and check out if you're into watching live shows.
I went and checked them out. I was trying to think of what that kind of music's called. Like I've known about it my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Not my whole life. My whole time going to shows, that style has been around. It's kind of, it's not hardcore like Madball, but it's kind of
it's like post-hardcore.
Hardcore thrash.
It's like doomy post-hardcore.
Is that Power Violence?
Let's check it out.
Yeah. Because I was
to me, it's like in the same realm as Nails.
Yeah, or like Converge.
Yeah, it's a little more. It is like Converge. It reminds me a lot of Converge. Let's see if either of them have it listed on there.
That would be the most popular of that type of stuff that I could think of.
Okay, Yautja. They don't describe themselves in their profile. I don't know if any bands do that, actually. We're
some bands do that, right? Like California death metal.
I think so, yeah. Or like, Archspire is tech death.
Right.
Portrayal of Guilt, American hardcore punk.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's it's darker than regular hardcore. There are a lot of different, the same as there are a lot of different sects of metal. I mean, there are a lot of different sects of hardcore.
Right.
So you've got the post-hardcores, the punk hardcores, the metal cores, metal hardcore, which Terror is like, to me, a metalcore band in its purest form, but you wouldn't associate
I think what
them
we would call that back in the day is metallic hardcore.
That's it. It's metallic hardcore.
Yeah.
It still is that. Metalcore has gotten way more singy and like radio friendly.
Yeah.
Whereas Terror is hardcore, but they've got like metal riffs.
It's crazy how many genres there are. I mean, how far things have progressed to the point where it's all so separated.
Yeah.
Because it kind of seemed like, I mean, I don't know. It was always kind of separate, but there was a point where it seemed like things were kind of merging a little bit.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it might just be because of me. Like maybe I just went more the metal route, where I used to go to hardcore and I'd go like a hardcore show one night, a metal show the next night.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I just went more metal and I don't really go to hardcore shows that much anymore. So it seems way different to me.
That's
like the whole vibe of the show was so much different than what I'm used to at this point.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what it is. But also, hardcore has kind of gone its own way too, because I used to see, like I would have seen a band like Portrayal of Guilt play with like a more technical metal band. Like you would see Portrayal of Guilt with BT Bam.
Yeah.
But now I don't know if that necessarily happens. There's a more, I don't want to call it like a more clean cut kind of metal, but it is like it's just different. Metal is kind of gone in all of, it's like gone in all of these different ways. Yeah, because we grew up, we like listened to bands like BT Bam and Converge, but now there are a bunch of bands who sound like BT Bam and Converge. So you're seeing like the
it
tree
kind of started, a thing.
The tree is like branching out. So now there are so many more bands who like sound alike who are available to tour together.
Right. I think I actually saw a tour that was BT Bam and Converge on the same tour.
Yeah. Meshuggah is taking out Converge. I think that's rad. It's super rad. Yeah. But you see that a lot more, like the bigger bands are the ones who have the more diverse bills.
That's not coming here, right? That tour.
I think it is.
Really?
I don't know, but I would really like to see that.
Yeah, I want to go to that.
I love Converge. So
Suffocation is playing in Louisville.
That's sick. Is Surreption on that tour?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I was thinking we should take the trip.
I would really like to take that trip.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Surreption has some new songs out, by the way, that rule.
Totally rip.
They rip. So if you guys haven't heard those, go jam those. Surreption.
Yeah, that would be something we could talk about that. If we're talking about a new thing to check out.
Yeah, go check out the couple of Surreption tracks.
That thing was hard.
That was so sick.
Is there two? I thought there was just one.
There are two.
Okay, so there's another one that just came out?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Super sick. Surreption is like such a perfectly groovy band. Perfectly groovy death metal band. They're really sick. We toured.
You hear that, Surreption? Put that on your Instagram profile. Perfectly groovy tech metal band.
Tech metal. I don't even know. Yeah, they're sick.
Yeah.
So go check out those new tracks. Have we seen any other shows recently?
Besides the one that we were on?
Yeah, I don't think we have.
No.
We didn't see anything while we were on tour. Didn't really have time.
There was that Code Orange show that happened above ours.
Oh, yeah.
We were playing in like this little basement and there was like a huge Code Orange show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like when Archspire was playing, it was so, I could totally like hear the upstairs show. Like
really?
In between their songs.
I think
it was loud. Yeah. It was really loud.
Their production was cool. They have cool like background
screens or
stage screens going on. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to check it out, but
yeah. Dude, I watched someone who was in an Entheos shirt walk out of the venue and completely collapse. I was standing with who was I standing with? Someone from Vulvodynia, and I saw he just walked out of the venue and completely collapsed on the ground.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're listening to this, man, whoever you are, the guy in Phoenix, a bunch of like people gathered around him.
Yeah.
I hope you're okay.
He actually is okay. After I think an ambulance might have came.
Really?
And I went up to the door guy and I was like, "What happened?" And then he was like, he said it was like the guy was like dehydrated or something.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
that
good.
was one of the first and only. Well, that was one of the few hot days on tour.
That was hot. Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm glad he's okay. I left the scene because I just wanted him to get help. Like there were a bunch of people gathered around him, and I have nothing to offer in that situation.
Right.
So I hope he's.
No,
glad you're doing okay.
I'm pretty sure the door guy was like, he's gonna be just fine.
Okay,
No problem.
good.
No problem.
That's great.
Yeah.
Stuff like that happens at shows.
I know.
You see stuff.
You see stuff. Yeah.
I mean, we saw another person pass out in like
South
Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't know if that person made it.
Yeah, I know. It was rumored that he did not make it.
And
Had
we
a
might have
stroke or
told
something
this
like that.
story on the
Yeah.
podcast before, that our merch guy at the time is now a paramedic. The guy who was doing merch for us on that tour, and he was like training at the time. So he went and I think administered CPR
Yeah, I tried
before
to
the
help him out.
ambulance got there. Yeah,
Yeah.
tried to help the guy out.
Yeah, really
But
tried.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's fucking horrible.
Yeah, really bad.
Do you know why?
What I heard, I don't remember. I don't know if I heard this from Mike or not, but I heard that he kind of already was having like some kind of condition and problems, and he might have had some sort of brain aneurysm or something like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, really, really bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was really related to the show per se.
Okay.
So,
Jesus.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, weird stuff happens on tour. You sometimes see stuff that is not fun to
Honestly,
experience.
not as much as you might think, though. I
That's
think
true.
about that sometimes on tour. I'm like, how the hell does this work?
Yeah.
Like
Especially
everybody
with a lot
gets,
of people. That's
yeah,
a lot of people being in super closed quarters, and not even just someone getting hurt. Like just, it's amazing that people don't get like fungus more than they do,
Yeah.
or staph
I know.
infection or ringworm or whatever.
and it's like hot as hell. It's sweaty. And
Yeah.
then I think this trips me out too, that all the gear makes it. Usually, sometimes stuff gets left, but how is it that you can get all of the gear every day?
Yeah.
Like I'd be, grabbing like my little roll of tape out of my thing, and I'm like, this roll of tape, it did the whole. It's here now.
Yeah.
This roll of tape has like done multiple tours with me.
Totally.
And or I'll trip out when you go to Europe. It's like all the stuff went to Europe.
It made it.
It went around with you, and it all made it back.
Yeah, our
And
entire life.
meanwhile, everybody in the band's getting drunk and being stupid and like,
Well, you know what's cool? There's a lot to be said about the camaraderie of tour,
yeah,
because all of the bands, if you're on tour with cool bands, all of the bands look out for each other, and if you leave something behind, they'll grab it.
yeah,
So usually that happened to us on this tour. Spencer from Inferi, someone in our band actually accidentally grabbed his snare drum.
yeah.
And
Well, we have the same exact snare case.
Oh yeah.
So I think we were just loading and it got loaded.
Yeah.
And they're like, I think you might have grabbed our snare. And I'm like, no, man, I would have known. Okay. We did not grab it. And then sure enough, the next day, here you go, man. Have your freaking snare.
Totally. Well,
Felt bad about that one.
and that kind of happens at loadout every night, because loadout is like where the entire crew like reconvenes and we all start talking about everything that happened at the show that night and how the show went, and just the funny stuff you talk about on tour. So you kind of get lost in the like rush of it all, and you'll just put stuff away while you're talking or while you're drinking a beer with your band.
And if you've had a few beers and you're doing all that, it's just like a blur. Not even if you're like drunk, just if you've kind of had, if you're a little tipsy and you're loading out. But I mean, I just go back in afterwards with the flashlight and just look around the stage and
yeah, we do
everything.
we call it a dummy check. That's what everyone, you have to do a dummy check every night.
But sometimes stuff doesn't make it. If you go on
That's true.
tour, you're gonna lose stuff.
Especially a lot of the merch stuff, like clips will get lost. Markers will get lost.
Personal stuff too.
Yeah, that's
Because with
true.
the gear, there's a system, and you're kind of doing it the same every night. And there's places where everything's supposed to go.
Right.
But with your personal shit, I
Oh,
don't
personal
know.
stuff
I'm
just
losing
gets...
all kinds of
I
shit on
know.
tour.
I lost my favorite necklace on this last tour.
Yeah, me too.
The black beaded necklace that I used to wear all the time.
You know what? That thing's from Ukraine.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to be.
It's hard to get another one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you take stuff on tour, you kind of have to, you're rolling the dice.
I know. Shane and I were talking about that actually when we came home from this last tour. I was unloading the van and I was like, dude, Cheney, like all that mountain of stuff that was in the van the whole tour was ours.
Yeah.
We have way too much stuff on tour.
When you have the vehicle at your house and you don't have to get on a plane or like transport the stuff to get it to the vehicle you used to tour in, it's way easier to grab like a million items that you don't need.
Like, I'm going to grab this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to grab that too.
Right.
I'm going to grab...
I think I took
Stop.
6 pairs of shoes on this last tour. And the reality is, when you get on tour, you don't really swap out like your shoes a lot. I
Yeah.
wore the same pair of Doc Martens the entire tour because it's just easier. It's efficient to, or I wear like slides as well.
There you go.
A couple of pairs of sandals, Doc Martens, and then maybe some tennis shoes to go to the gym in.
So now you're at 3.
Now we're at...
You're at 3.
Yeah, I'm at.
But
actually
I did
at
the same
4.
thing. I brought my sandals, Birkenstocks, and shoes and my boots. But the thing is, I needed all of them.
Wow. I didn't need half of what I brought. I brought a lot of coats.
But yeah, I brought a lot of bullshit too. I mean, it was
Yeah.
also kind of weird because it was transitional seasonal weather. So we were in heat, we were in cold snow.
We were in
it
like
was all over the
extreme
place.
heat
Yeah.
and cold. It's like,
So it was a little weird.
yeah, it was like going through the 4 seasons of a year in a month
It really was.
and not having access to any of the stuff you have at your house.
Yeah, but next run, Cheney, we need to scale it down.
Well, next run is pure summer.
Yeah.
So we know what to wear.
Yeah. Oh, so you're announcing that we're going on tour in the summer.
I already said that on the
Okay.
last one.
Oh, okay.
It'll be announced soon.
Soon enough.
Soon enough, you all will know all of the secrets that we have,
Yeah.
including our album title, which I'm ready for it to be out.
Ready for it? What a relief.
Yeah, I know.
That fucking thing is done.
I feel like I'm finally ready to. That's been a thing with the listening to music and talking about bands on the podcast. When I get that deep into writing an album, I almost like don't really start listening to anything new.
Right.
Because
When
I'm
you listen to something, you're listening to the album, working on it, trying to figure stuff out.
just like
Very true.
painstakingly going through the mix and trying to figure out which part you want to be different or like turned up.
Right.
That's
Or
all.
writing it, or the whole process, basically.
Yeah, totally.
But so maybe now we can try to be out there finding cool music.
Yeah, please. So if you guys have any suggestions for us, keep those rolling in.
Yeah.
You're always pretty good at giving us new stuff to listen to.
Yeah. We had I think people used to do it more.
Yeah.
And I think since we don't ask for it. But I think, yeah, we should have some sort of music feature.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that could be something that we found, or it
Mhm.
could be something that somebody sent in.
Totally.
You name it.
Yeah.
Maybe a cringe find.
Yeah. Send us whatever you have. I'm excited to see what you guys send in. But
Some crabcore stuff.
we do have a question this week. Do you want to
Tackle
get
that
into
question.
it?
Yeah.
All right. So this one is from David. I believe you pronounce this last name Nguyen. Nguyen. You pronounce that Nguyen, right?
I think so.
Okay. So David Nguyen, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, let us know.
Leave a comment below. Like, comment,
Leave a
subscribe.
comment.
Tell a friend.
Yeah. Rate us on Apple Podcasts. David says, hey there. I saw you guys on tour in LA with Archspire and Fury and Vulvodynia. I remember not knowing much about your music before the show. I distinctly remember being in awe by your band's performance. The image that sticks out to me the most is Cheney's smile in between the brutal lyrics. It was like this super sick contrast between being happy and singing this brutal death metal music. After the show, I became a big fan of Entheos and bought the Entheos cap off of the merch shop. Thank you. That's really awesome that people found out about us on tour and are now listening to the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of people are going to do that when you go on tour.
Yeah, that's really cool.
There's always going to be people there that don't know who you are.
Absolutely. You know, and that, well, I guess we can talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, that's a great thing. Anyways, I've been listening to your podcast a lot now and have a question. How do you feel about marijuana as a drug? I'm pretty much a high-functioning pothead who has a regular full-time job that pays well. My only vice is that I smoke weed pretty much on all of my free time because I love it. Do you think weed is similar to alcohol, or is it more of an okay drug to do on a daily basis? Thank you. Thanks for writing in, David.
Yeah. Well, I used to smoke more marijuana when I was younger. Probably in my early 20s.
I like to call it jazz cabbage.
Yeah, a lot of jazz cabbage. Probably in my early 20s, I would smoke a good amount. I was never really like every day, but definitely like on the weekends or at band practice or on tour a good amount, you know. But for me, I don't know. After a while, I just kind of stopped doing it. It wasn't a thing where I was like, oh, I need to stop doing this. It's just people would hand me the joint and I would just not hit it. And then that kind of turned into not smoking at all for a long time.
Which is mostly what you do.
Yeah, I mostly don't smoke, but every once in a while I'll smoke or I'll take it up for like a week.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm going to smoke this week, or it's random. Or if like a cool device comes out, I'm like, oh, I want to try that.
Like an E-pen or something?
Yeah.
A G-pen?
And then here in Tennessee, they have this stuff called Delta 8, which is, we call it not pot, which is kind of like weed light.
Yeah, it's similar to CBD.
Yeah, it does have a lot more. CBD, I don't feel anything at all.
Yeah.
But with the not pot, I feel a little something. So that's pretty much where I'm at. I don't know. I wonder if it's what it does to people smoking it every day. Chaney, what do you think?
Well, speaking of people who smoke every day, I do smoke every day. I would be probably in the, what did he call himself? A high functioning stoner.
Yeah. Are you stoned right now?
I haven't smoked in the last couple of hours, actually. So I'm not stoned right now, but I do smoke most days I smoke a lot. I love smoking weed, and I think that I'm with you. Like, it's not a problem in my life. I just enjoy doing it. I can stop sometimes. Sometimes I won't smoke for a week, but that is rare that happens, but occasionally I will do that.
It's like the opposite of me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It really is the opposite of Naveen.
Yeah.
But I really love weed. I think that it can be super calming and it can open your mind to certain things, but I also don't really do edibles.
Yeah.
That's a very rare thing for me. I don't like the way that edibles make me feel. They really, really induce anxiety hardcore for me.
Right.
I think that there is a point where you can kind of over smoke or, call me crazy, but I do believe that different strains do different things to you.
Right.
And some can really make you anxious. But I also don't think that smoking weed is right for everyone. The same way that I don't think that most lifestyles are correct for people across the board. Everyone is different. The way you react to things is different. I've known people who definitely should not smoke weed every day.
Right.
I've seen the negative effects of weed on people. But if you can have an honest discussion with yourself and figure out whether or not it's the right thing for you to be doing, then just be honest with yourself.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, that goes with anything, though.
Yeah.
because you kind of know in the back of your mind, like, yeah, I should probably not do this.
Yeah.
If I've drank like a bunch of times in a week or something, I'm like, you know what? It's probably time for me to like not drink for a while, or eating shitty or whatever. Try to balance it out.
I
Then
think
you don't have to like do something way extreme later to try to make up for it, right?
Yeah. Well, both of us also, I guess neither of us are addicts. So we also can't speak from that
That's true.
point of view
Yeah.
because it's easy. I can not smoke weed. I know for a day and it doesn't really bother me.
Right.
I know that there are people out there who cannot do that. I know that weed isn't technically addictive, but it is you get addicted to the act of smoking weed. If I see someone on TV smoking weed, it makes me want to smoke weed.
I saw actually a pretty funny meme on Instagram the other day that was like an anti-weed meme.
Well, that's
And
funny.
it was like, oh, it's not addictive, man. And it's like, but I have to smoke every single day or I'm going to freak out.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's all just, I think that everything is best, like, just done the way that is healthy for you, good for you.
Yeah. I
know,
I just from watching, I can certain people, it hits them different.
Yeah.
Like, when I get really stoned, I'm like a moron. Like I'm not going to be able to do anything.
but also
Like, it's just not going to happen.
sometimes it's really fun for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's fun to smoke a little weed and watch a movie and gain a new perspective on it. And a lot of the time that perspective is, wow, this movie's super dumb.
Well, I think
because now I'm high and
started to
watching
happen
it.
to me where I would start getting too much perspective on stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, okay, I'm just like really stoned.
Then you're like
and
a
I have
stoner.
noticed that certain people that smoke a lot will overthink stuff
Absolutely.
that doesn't need to be overthought.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think less. That's why I like to hit the beers.
Yeah, but with that being said, one of the questions you asked is if weed is similar to alcohol. Definitely not. Weed is the only thing that is similar between weed and alcohol is that there is like a point with each where it can kind of suppress your anxiety or make you like chill you out a little bit. But alcohol is obviously, that's like a deadly substance.
Yeah,
Alcohol
I mean, it also has calories in it.
It has calories in it. It has calories in it. Weed has no calories. If you're hitting the gym and trying to like be trim, it's probably better to smoke weed just because of that.
Yeah.
People sometimes overlook that drinks have calories in them and that
Unhealthy.
alcohol, if you drink a lot of alcohol, you start to look bloated just because
Yes.
I think of like the sugars in it.
It's not good for you.
Alcohol is,
It's not good for you.
if you smoke 6 bowls a day, it's not the same as drinking 6 shots a day.
All right, but what about when you get the munchies? All right. That's gonna mess you up.
You know when
It's
the
gonna throw you off
munchies
your goals.
actually happen to me is if I'm eating weed. If you eat an edible, that makes me like way more munchied out.
Yeah, I get the munchies hard. That's when I smoke weed.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I
But I
actually
mean,
got the munchies right now. I'm hungry.
I know I'm really hungry too.
But,
But you know, everything is, you just have that. Yeah, it's like Naveen said, everything is this way. You just have to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Is it okay for you to go out and drink once a week? Some people can deal with that. Some people drink, I don't know, every single day, and that's probably not a good thing.
Yeah, no.
Unless
not.
it's, you know,
Or some people have, my grandpa used to have one drink a day.
there we go.
Every day. He'd have
Yep.
one drink.
4:00.
He'd have one shot of vodka.
Yep.
That was his thing. That was it.
And he sat down, he enjoyed it, everyone had
Yeah.
a drink with him, and
So,
then he
I
got on
mean,
with his day.
And he
For
lived to
me,
be 95.
If
so-
I start drinking in a day, I can be assured that I'm not really going to get anything done for the rest of the day. So
No,
it's not
it
good
is.
for me to do that every day. Or
Yeah, sometimes, I don't know, I've done, the studio was built, and I had quite a few beers while we were building that studio.
yeah, I'm not that type of person. I can't drink a bunch of beer and get stuff done. It just makes me want to hang out.
That's because you don't do construction.
That's true. Very true. Yeah, I guess construction and mowing the lawn and all the things that we do here in the South.
Well, how about this? Call into the hotline. Let's hear some weed stories.
Yeah, let's hear about
Let's
it.
hear about your weed stories.
I know.
Your,
yeah.
I don't know, getting stuff done with a beer. Actually, when I now mow the lawn. That's like, a new thing that I do.
Yeah.
And I'll throw a freaking beer on my little cup holder in my mower.
Yeah.
And it's a good time.
But I
love it.
The flip side of that is that we personally have known people who, if they didn't stop drinking, they might be dead.
Yeah, of course.
That's not the case with weed. So to like ask if those two things are equal, no. Weed is more like.
Well, what did he actually say about it?
Do you think weed is similar to alcohol, or is it more of an okay drug to do on a daily basis?
I mean, it is thought to be okay to do on a daily basis. However, I don't know. We really don't know.
You hear about all of those people who are like California sober, which, if you're California dude, it's a total thing. If you're
funny.
California sober, you have quit doing everything, but you smoke weed.
Okay.
So is that sober?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's pretty strong.
I don't think that the straight edge people are out there smoking weed.
Something that annoys me about weed, though, is it makes things take longer. Like on tour,
Yeah,
let's go get some
stoners
food.
love
we gotta smoke.
We gotta smoke a bowl first.
We just go, and then the smoking is like chilling. It's not just like let's hit this real quick. All right, let's go. We're gonna smoke.
But
it's gonna take forever.
To add to all of this, weed can be a medicine and has helped a lot of people. I used to work for a company in California. I did their social media, but they would get testimonials about how edibles or the weed they were growing helped people. There are a lot of people.
Well, particularly with appetite, I believe.
Oh, yeah. And pain.
Oh, really? Pain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just feel like for pain, that would just make me focus in on the pain more.
You know what it does for me is it makes me focus on other things.
Huh.
Yeah.
Granted, I've never really tried it, so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, all it really comes down to is the way you use it. That's really how it is with both weed and alcohol.
Definitely.
So they're similar in those ways. And they both can be overused. One just has a deadlier.
I mean, another thing that I've thought of
side.
before is, what if someone was California sober, but if they didn't have the weed, it'd be like way worse. They'd be on like, I don't know, alcoholic or crack or something.
Well, yeah, that's what California. I think that's generally when people become California sober.
So that would be a good
thing. When they're
thing.
Giving up alcohol.
Yeah, that would be a good thing in my mind.
I agree.
Go ahead and do. If you're that type of person, do the freaking weed. Smoke as much freaking weed as possible.
I agree.
I'm cool with that.
But, I do think that there is like a couch locked. The caricature of a stoner does exist. It's just not every single stoner who's like that.
It's just me when I smoke weed.
Yeah. Certain people are affected that way. It works differently on everyone.
Yeah.
So, David, do you?
Yeah, if it's not if
it's not a hindrance to your life, then
fuck it, man. Do
yeah.
it. If you're living your best life on weed, then go ahead and live it, man. Fuck it.
LYBL. LYBL. Live your best life.
Yeah, I'm down. Fuck that.
I am too.
All right, well, Cheney, you got anything else to say?
No, I think I'm good for this week.
Well, we are gonna. It is my birthday.
It is Naveen's birthday.
Short,
we're gonna cut it a little short.
and we're gonna barbecue.
That's right.
We're gonna get those flavors going.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, we are actually really fired up about the hotline.
Yeah, please call.
That you guys are now called the Golden Lobsters.
Goldie Lobsters.
There's
the GLs.
Yeah, there's just a lot of good stuff. We're gonna keep on trucking. We should probably get some guests, I think.
we're gonna roll in some guests. We've got some ideas in mind. Our 100th episode is right around the corner.
Yeah, we need to figure that out, Jane.
Yep.
We cannot it can't be like Tuesday and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's the 100th episode.
No,
we got it.
We can't do that. It's gonna be cool. Yeah, it's gonna be
maybe we could do some call-ins, have some guests and people could call in. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But all right, you guys. Call in the hotline, check out the teas, and have a good fucking week.
Yes.
More than anything.
All right. Thanks. And also, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you. I love you guys a lot.
We love you guys. Peace.
Have a good one.